Imagine how cool it would have been if Elon Musk, Bill Gates, or any other multi-billionaire started recording their journey at 18 years old. That's what I want to do to reach and serve as many people as I possibly can. I'll share the lessons, skills, and knowledge I've learned on my journey, document new discoveries, tools, and technology, record my personal failures and victories, along the way to building my legacy. In Season 1, I'll document my entrepreneurial journey to earning my first 100K as a full-time college student. Stay tuned. This is Legacy Voyage. Business is business is business. That was something I learned in a meeting I had today with Mo. Stick to the end to learn more about what that means and what we talked about. But until then, let me go into what I've been working on over the past couple days. I've been really diving into studying marketing, more specifically Russell Brunson's Expert Secrets book, which really talks about how to create a mass movement in marketing. And I'll definitely go into it more in the future and have a super in-depth dive into each part of what he says, because I'm learning some super valuable stuff in it. And I'm really trying to apply everything I learned to both Coach V, True Wealth Marketing, Mana Ecom, and my personal brand, and where I want to be in the future. One of the big meetings I had today was with Mana Ecom. We basically just went over competitor analysis. So one of the operators, who was her name is Dee. She basically went into a competitor's warehouse and took a look around, and we could basically see their operations, what products they buy. Keep in mind, this is an e-commerce management business, so basically this business take in investors' money, and then they use that money and then put it into an e-commerce business where they can generate cash flow and also have collateral. What that means, it's called collateralized cash flow, is basically the end goal of what Mo says e-commerce is for, or Mana Ecom is for. So it's basically, think of it like real estate, where real estate is cash flowing from the rent, and then it's also collateralized because the real estate itself can be sold. So it's the same idea applied to real estate in the e-commerce phase or e-commerce business. And that was really one of the big selling points in what they're offering. And I really just learned a lot about e-commerce and everything involved in that business. And then after that meeting, I had a separate meeting with the salesperson. His name is Willie, and we really just, it was actually super valuable. We really just went in on the future for Mana Ecom and how we can market itself. One of the main goals I had with that meeting was to really dive into what the dream client is, and who the dream client is, what they're interested in, what their background is. Really just make sure we're very clear on that idea so we can target those people. And at first when I talked to Mo, he was like, yeah, listen, Dean, I think the best clients for Mana Ecom is probably going to be the entrepreneurs who really value collateralized cash flow. And immediately, the issue I see in that is that collateralized cash flow is such a foreign concept to so many people, or at least it was to me, because I definitely had no idea what that was. So I don't think it would be good for, definitely in the marketing of it, not to mention collateralized cash flow. But instead of that, really sell the idea of what collateralized cash flow means for that person's life. So basically, the freedom that it gives them, they get to buy back their time. They don't have to trade time for money. They can be freed from their day job. Things like that, where I really saw the benefits of what it means to work with them and have this collateralized cash flow. And while we were talking, we really decided on a good dream customer or dream client would be high-paid professionals that trade time for money and want to break out of the golden handcuffs. the golden handcuffs. I thought that was a brilliant idea when he was talking. He brought up this idea of the golden handcuffs, where this might not be completely right, but I think the phrasing of it is interesting. It's basically where these high paid professionals, dentists, lawyers, software engineers, these high paid lawyers or high paid professionals make too much to leave, but not enough to live. I thought that was a huge eye opening idea. And I think it'll be interesting to really dive into that in the future. And another key point with that was these dream clients are also going to be start looking for retirement. So the target age will probably be from like 40 to 55, I'm thinking. Or that's what Willie said. And then the new opportunity where we're giving to them is a set it and forget it e-commerce business where they put up the upfront work, they put up the upfront cash, they set it, and then they forget about it because Mana Ecom will be the ones doing the product research, doing the management, posting it online, fulfilling the orders, all the operations of the business. And I'm excited to really get that going and really dive into how we're gonna sell that. But in our conversation, I really found a value of sales because you could tell this guy was a veteran salesman and he was really good at sales and he was just talking to me, telling me about sales concepts, sales skills. And that's a skill I really have to learn. I think that'll be super important in marketing and copywriting is being good at sales because I'll just take my skills in marketing to the next level. And I think that would be super cool. So I'll look into that more in the future. But right now I really got to double down in just marketing, really find my skills there and then start expanding out. And then another meeting I had was with Island City and Media Group, which is Asian Pacific Islander media company. And in the group, really, I was kind of concerned because they were talking about the clients they're looking at, the salespeople were going over who they're talking to and potential sales they would have. And I asked the question, I was like, who is your dream client? And really expand on that. And then the answer was anyone who needs production. And when you hear that, it's as a marketer, it's actually very concerning because you don't want to market yourself to everyone. And this is something I learned in Russell Brunson's course, is that if you don't niche down, then you're in bloody waters. You're competing with every other media company out there who is going after every company that needs production or needs media. The importance of niching down is really to create your own marketplace, your own customers, and carve out a slice of the pie for your company. And that was really what I was thinking in the meeting. I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want to go too deep into it because I really am new, and maybe I just don't know enough about Island City and what they're doing because I just joined their meetings. Like I think that was my second meeting with them, so I definitely have more to learn. So I think I'll just sit back and keep observing. I think it's really going to be interesting, and I think it'll really blow up. But in order for that to happen, I think they're really going to have to focus in on who their dream client is, and that way they can really go in on those dream clients. And it took me back, and it reminded me of when I first started working with Coach V. I asked Coach V, I was like, "Who's your dream client? Who's your dream customer? What's your niche?" And he basically said, anyone who needs self-improvement or anyone who wants to be their best self. And yes, that's good that you want to serve everyone, but you need a niche and you need the people who you're going to serve best. And that's what I'm trying to do with Coach B, is really find his place in the coaching business, coaching realm of business executives. And I think I'm definitely gonna have to develop that more. And I really hope Island City Media Group takes off, and hopefully I'll be able to help them in the future. But right now I really got to double down with helping Coach V build funnels and Mana Ecom. In terms of my personal brand and what I'm doing, I'm trying to build a lead magnet for my website and start putting the effort into building up an email list and using these podcasts to try to build up an email list. I know it's definitely not gonna explode. Like, it's not gonna explode, but it's gonna be a good practice and good experience for me to start getting into the mindset of building an email list and what it takes to do that. And I'm probably gonna build that in system.io just because it's free. I really want to start using ClickFunnels and get familiar with that software, but I really do not have the cash for that. So we'll see. And on to the title of this podcast episode: business is business. This was something I learned from Mo while we were talking. He's the owner of True Wealth Capital, and we were just going back and forth. He was giving me some advice, and one of the biggest pieces of advice was that business is business is business. And what he said it means is that, look, business is not all that different. As long as you can understand the workings of one business, how to market, how to fulfill, how to get customers, as long as you understand that and finding the people who can do that, you can really apply those same principles and strategies to any other business. And that's a really big thing that I've also learned with Russell Brunson, is that you really want to focus on the strategy as opposed to the tactics. Now, let me talk more about what that means. So, in a football game, the strategy is going to be, we're going to go against this team and we're going to go for those long shots. We're going to go for passes. Their passing coverage game is weak, so we're going to go for passes, not many runs. That's the strategy of the game. But then when you get into tactics, it'll be, this receiver is going to run that way on this play at this time when this quarterback is too far up. Or this lineman is going to go this way, and then the fullback is going to have this blocking scheme, and the quarterback is going to look that way when this happens. Now, on the defensive side, it would be, we're really going to have to stop the run because this team likes to run. So when we go in, we're going to call the linebacker blitz. So this linebacker is going to fill in that gap, and then the quarterback's going to drop in and cover their zone. And it's things like that. I realize that if you don't know anything about football, then you're going to be completely confused on that analogy. But for people who have played, maybe understand a little bit, they can kind of grasp the idea of the difference between strategy and tactics. And applying that same reasoning to marketing, and what I've seen is that the course that I'm learning is, it's all about the strategy and teaching me what the strategies are behind marketing. So it's how to build a movement that people back up and believe in and want to join. Whereas tactics would be specific affiliate marketing or MLMs or network marketing, or certain tactics that don't last long. Like, of course, you can You can buy a whole bunch of ads in the short term, and then lead them to a small little website where you're constantly posting SEO blog posts to get it up. But in the long run, that will not last. And that was the main thing I really learned and took away from today and meeting with Mo. And I hope to go in more deeper detail with what I've been learning through Russell Brunson and his course, because it is amazing material. And I've only been through, I think, just 3 hours of it. And in those 3 hours, I've learned so much, and I've been able to apply so much to my work with Coach B and Malak Nikal. And I can't wait for that to be successful, and then keep working on those businesses and keep improving my skills in marketing in the future and really pursue that. As a side note, just an update on school. I dropped my class for CS, which really opens my time up to dive into this stuff. So I'm really excited to do more of this. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to just learn more, man. I'm really in that phase of learning and grinding and working for free just to get my skills and experience up to make those really awesome connections. And I can't wait to see where that leads me. But till then, I'll talk to you.